Nick Wright with Sports Radio 610 in Houston with Armen and Levack on 104.5 The Team. And Nick, here we go, baby. One-game wild card tonight. 8:05 first pitch on 104.5 The Team. Dallas Keuchel, Nick, he's only pitching on 3 days rest for the first time this season. How worried are the Astros about that factor?
Well, I think it's a legitimate concern. In fact, not only the first time this season, he's never done it in his professional career. And the only time that I could find on record was once in college, where he threw 4 scoreless innings of relief on 3 days rest. I think it's a legitimate worry, but he's clearly their best option. He just came off one of the best home seasons anyone's ever had. He was 15-0 with, I think, an ERA south of 1 at home this year. This game, of course, not at home. It's at Yankee Stadium. But, I mean, he's the guy, I would think, that's going to win the AL Cy Young. So even on 3 days rest, you've got to be happy that he's going. But, I mean, Vegas thinks there's going to be some runs scored in this game. The over-under for this game, I think, 7.5. For the NL game, it's 5.5. Wow. So I don't know if they think it's Tanaka or Keuchel, but Vegas thinks one of these guys is going to be gotten to.
When you look at the pitching rotation for the Astros, I mean, even though Keuchel is the man, was there ever a consideration with the 3 days rest to go with someone else, do you think?
No, they made it very clear from the beginning that if they got to this game, Dallas Keuchel would be pitching in it. And it looked for a moment like maybe this game wouldn't happen. Like on Sunday, for a brief spell, it looked like maybe the Rangers would lose and the Astros would win. And if that had happened, the Astros would have played the Rangers yesterday, where the winner would win the division and the loser would go on to play the Yankees. And it looked like for a moment on Sunday that this game might be happening in Houston because the Yankees struggled down the stretch and the Astros won 4 of their final 6, but they needed to win 5 of their final 6, and they did not.
Hey, Nick, this game at Yankee Stadium, it's going to be rocking. You think that could have an effect on this team?
The Astros have the second worst road record of any playoff team ever. I mean, this is a team that was as good as anyone in baseball at home and really, really bad on the road.
Nick Wright with Armen and Levack, 104.5 The Team, co-host of In the Loop with Nick and Lopez, Morning Drive, Sports Radio 610 on 104.5 The Team. Your home for Yankees baseball, 8:05 first pitch tonight. And Nick, you mentioned the Astros struggles on the road. In the month of August, they were on top of the division. They were one of the hottest teams in baseball going into that month. What happened over the last 2 months with this baseball team?
Yeah, I think it was a whole bunch of things. One is they stopped winning one-run games. They were 18-18 in their first 36 one-run games, and then lost 9 in a row, which, I mean, just mathematically is an outlier. Also, they dealt with some injuries. George Springer was out for an extended period. That hurt them. And, I mean, they kind of just regressed to the mean. They started out 18-7. And from that moment forward, you know, in any large sample size, they were basically a 500 baseball team. Now, in September, it looked like they had thrown the whole thing away. They had a 5-game lead on the Rangers, I think, on September 1st. And then by September 21st, they were trailing the Rangers. That shouldn't happen. But this is an incredibly young team. They don't have a single positional player with any legitimate postseason experience, at least. Well, maybe one. I shouldn't say not a single guy, but the vast majority of their lineup has no postseason experience, and their manager doesn't have the experience, and I think in some spots that showed. But as I mentioned earlier, one of the worst road teams in baseball this year. How about this? After the first 2 weeks of the season, they won one road series until the final 6 games of the year, when they won consecutive road series, which is why the Yankees are playing the Astros and not playing the Angels.
Nick, the Astros went and got Carlos Gomez at the trade deadline. What are they expecting from him in this game? Is he going to be healthy, good enough to go, and all that fun stuff?
If he plays, what they'd be expecting from him is good defense. He's been disappointing with the bat, but he also, just about a week ago, turned a double play from center field, a walk-off double play from center field, which was a tremendous defensive play. if he plays, the very least they're expecting is solid defense.
Nick Wright, Sports Radio 610 in Houston. Nick, how are you feeling about this game? What do you think happens tonight?
Vegas basically has it as a pick 'em. They've got the Astros as the slightest of favorites. I think it's a coin flip. By the way, if I'm a Yankee fan today, I'm a little furious that our entire season is coming down to this silly coin flip game.
Agreed.
Astro fans should be thrilled, and baseball fans should be thrilled because it's exciting, and Astro fans should be thrilled because without this silly one-game coin flip, they wouldn't be in the postseason. Not really that fair to the Yankees, and it's not very unfair, by the way, to the Pittsburgh Pirates that we're going to see tomorrow, the second-best team in all of baseball this year, whose entire season is going to come down to can they hit Jake Arrieta, something no one's done in months. Gun to my head, I think I probably picked the Astros on the strength of Dallas Keuchel, but I mean this is a 52-48 game, and I guess I would say 3-2 Astros, but that's if you tell me it's 3-2 Yankees or 4-3 Yankees, nothing really would. The only thing that would surprise me is if this is not a close baseball game.
Yeah. Let's do it. Nick Wright out of Sports Radio 610 Morning Show in the Loop with Nick and Lopez. He's on Twitter at @GetNickWright. Good follow. Very funny guy. Very entertaining guy. And always our go-to guy for Houston sports. Nick, by the way, what with the Texans, man?
Yeah, they're not any good. I mean, it's unbelievable that they go 2-14 a couple years ago, almost exclusively because their quarterback melts down. And since then, they've literally, this is an exaggeration, invested less in the quarterback position than any other team in the entire NFL. You combine that with a defense that is not playing up to its capabilities and an injury to their most important offensive player, Arian Foster, and you have a team that through 4 weeks, you can argue, is the worst team in the whole NFL.
Houston Texans definitely struggling. And, hey, on your home for Yankees baseball, we hope the Astros take that charge as well. Let's just be real. But, hey, Nick, good luck to you, man, tonight. At @GetNickWright on Twitter. Nick, we'll talk to you soon, man. Thank you.
Absolutely. And to all the Syracuse transplants listening, what's up? Thanks for having me on.